That's so weird. I've been lying here on this bed for 45 minutes sending emails to my team. Let's put it that way. And shortly after I came up here to send some emails, somebody in the room located in the condominium next to this one started repeatedly smacking something against the wall, and it's pretty loud. Sounds like they're hitting it with a stick or some kind of a blunt object like that, and it's directly against the drywall. It's not a dog. There's no barking or, yapping or anything like that. It's also not the owner because she doesn't, she's not in there right now. She got into her car maybe an hour ago and left. I mean, she shows up in her car. It's a bright red car. You can certainly see it right away when it's sitting at the end of the fence area just outside of this window. She loads stuff up in there and then she leaves again. So she left maybe an hour ago, but there's somebody on the other side of this wall repeatedly smacking something against the wall. Interestingly enough, as soon as I started recording, very silently, it stopped. But the entire time that I've been lying here, focusing on sending some emails, very time-sensitive and urgent emails over the last 45 minutes, whoever's in that unit was smacking something against the wall. Very loud, repeatedly. It was almost like a deliberate smacking kind of situation, which supports what I keep saying, which is that the owner next door, crazy dog lady, isn't boarding dogs right now. She's boarding psychos for some strange reason. Maybe she has some mentally disturbed family members that she is housing. It's just weird because she's almost never in there. She shows up for a few hours. Sometimes she has dogs with her, sometimes she doesn't. And then when she leaves, you know it because the red car is gone. She's also often not in there at night because there's somebody who deliberately smokes a lot of marijuana and cigar smoke in her unit late at night. And it's not her. I mean, she's lived in that unit for 8 years now, and there really hasn't been any signs that she's a crackhead or a pothead or even that she smokes cigars. I mean, when she's out in the backyard with her legitimate guests and they're all sitting around, in a table, you don't smell anything except maybe some cooking smells. So neither she nor her guests, who usually are pretty quiet even when they're outside, seem to smoke anything at all. So whoever's in that unit seems to be some sort of a activist who has nothing else to do other than smack things against the wall in the middle of the day. Right now is right around 12:15 p.m. on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. And I have some very urgent emails right now that I'm trying to send and write up. And I have better things to do than documenting the fact that there's some psycho smacking something against that wall and has been doing so regularly, like every couple of seconds for the last 45 minutes. Started happening just after I lay down on this bed to try to send some emails before having to get on with the rest of my day. Very strange. Very convenient that it stopped as soon as I hit record on this phone, which also supports my constant observations that this phone has been hacked. Well, it obviously has been hacked because a gift card that I received as part of a payment for a work-related project that I completed a few weeks ago has been hacked into, and the funds are gone. And I had to file a dispute with the card issuer a couple of days ago because the large amount of money relatively that was on that gift card as a payment is suddenly not there, even though I never use a card and never even tried to activate it. It was activated by somebody who has access to what I have and do on this phone and on this device. And I have the emails to prove it, the dispute to prove it. So this phone is hacked, obviously, and it's the same piece of shit that's been doing this for 11 years. The hate stalking psycho reject that the property manager in my building up in Boston, Oleg Alicia, keeps bragging is a talented hacker who, quote, can get into anything and take care of anything. And that would be the fat, perving sex offender named Jasmine Irizarry, who has nothing else to do with her sad, wasted, hate-stalking, psycho pig life other than harassing people. People who I don't know have made comments on my social media page telling me that she is getting paid and sponsored by the landlord to harass people they don't like And obviously, I would be one of them. I don't know where she finds the time to harass other people because she's constantly, literally on my tail. Pretty much everywhere I go in the eastern, the tri-state New England area. And also California, I suspect. The same weird shit that was happening up in my unit in Boston for 11 years happens down here. And it was also oddly happening when I was out in California last year. You know, like my lip liner suddenly disappearing and then reappearing a few days later, smelling absolutely disgusting as if it had been dragged through somebody's armpit. And I'm not the one who did that. She's been doing that to my lip liners for 11 years. That is her signature move. She goes for my lip liners. I've made videos about how the lip liners almost instantly disappear as soon as I purchase them, no matter where I hide them. She has these triggers, items that trigger her, activities that trigger her. And she goes for those things like a pit bull with rabies. Lip liners, delicious dairy products like yogurts. She's always contaminating the yogurts or the milk or the coffee drinks, something she knows that you like. Ice cream, right? She goes for the dairy products for some strange reason. That's one of the first food products that she contaminates. And no, it's not because they're dairy products and they go bad quickly. These are brand new dairy products. Things like yogurt that, you know, I've had for a day that should never go bad is suddenly from one day to the next so foul smelling that you can't even begin to go near it, you know, that kind of thing. That's Irizarry, that fat piece of shit. Again, I don't have a problem with people who have weight issues, but she refuses to help herself. She engages in a completely psychotically dysfunctional life of stalking and harassment, and that is a deliberate decision on her part. So I have no sympathy for anything that she might have an issue with. She doesn't help herself. She's just a disgusting piece of shit that is a registered sex offender who has a thing for little kids, and she gets violent and triggered at the idea of little kids. So if I watch a movie such as like Home Alone, for instance, which is a classic and a great holiday movie, she becomes all violent and agitated and triggered over that movie each time I watch it on the device that she has obviously accessed and has knowledge of what I do with on a moment-by-moment basis. Hence the gift card that should have had $100 on it and now has like $3 and something cents because it's been hacked into and used by somebody who accesses my devices and knows what I have on them. That just happened within the last week or so, right? So somebody has access to what goes on this device. Oh, now they're making smacking noises against the wall. It's weird. Because again, the owner of the condo next door, crazy Mary dog lady, whatever her name is, got into her car and drove off a little over an hour ago. So she's not there, but somebody else certainly is.